Hello, everyone. This is Baruti Carl Alexander. This is our 160th episode of the Source Seeker Hour. And I'm so gratified to be here. I was sharing earlier with the audience on Facebook and with both of you here that I recently, or actually it was in 2022, that I had a stroke and a double seizure, and it was touch and go there for a second. But today I'm doing much better. I still got work to do, but diet and healthy living is so important. And as you get older, it becomes much more important. And you know, when you were young, you could just run around and recover and everything. You seem like you're invulnerable, and you don't have a care in the world, but life is so important and it's so appreciative that you got to find a way, or you got to come to some understanding of this gift that we have. And I really would like to talk about that. I would like to talk about and appreciate that. And I have two of my friends with me, Miss Camille, the Moss Queen, here in Houston. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Excited to
Yes,
be.
ma'am. And Dr. Sabrina, an ER doctor, and I thank you for joining me again. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me tonight.
Yes, ma'am. I sent out a question about Ozempic. Have you heard about that, Camille?
Yes, I've heard about it.
What have you heard about it? Do you have friends on it? Have you tried it yourself?
No, I have not tried that myself. I've heard it circulating around in the celebrity realm of people losing weight quickly. Another one of those.
I heard about it. I had a thought for a second, but I always know natural is better than medicated. And even though I wanted to lose weight, I didn't want to take the expedient or quick way, and I didn't know the health impact. Can you share a little bit about that, Dr. Sabrina? What have you seen about Ozempic, and
well, there's there's Ozempic and there's also Mounjaro. These are GLP-1 agonists, diabetic medications, and what they actually do, they're actually initially FDA approved for those for diabetes. And there's a once a week shot. So the medication, once they FDA approved it for diabetes, Ozempic and Mounjaro, what they found was a significant amount of weight loss happening on these two medications. There are other medications in the same category. Victoza, you may have heard of that. And another, I think
I take metformin.
Yeah, so metformin is an oral pill, but this is actually liquid medication for diabetes. It's not insulin. Let me say that again, because I do prescribe these medicines. It's not insulin, okay? And so, like I said, initially they were FDA approved for diabetes only. And what happened? They started to see so much weight loss. There was like a 40-week study where they saw a significant amount of weight loss with the medications. And the same pharmaceutical companies who make Ozempic and Mounjaro decided to go back and prescribe it for weight loss. So then they had to go through a whole panel to get it FDA approved for weight loss. So the generic for Ozempic is Wegovy. So when you see the commercials that say Wegovy, that's the same as Ozempic. Same medicine, okay? And then the generic for Mounjaro is called Zepbound. And so if you don't have diabetes, but you have obesity, and obesity is defined as a body mass index of 30 or more. 30 or more. So you can Google an
Let me be
equation.
sure, you said 30 or more over the regular weight is obesity.
No, body mass index. So I would take your height and I would take your weight in an equation of kilograms, and I would do an equation. And if it comes over 30, then that's obesity.
Okay, let's use me for example. I'm 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
I think my average or my optimum weight would be about 155 or so.
Okay. I would have to, yeah, give me a minute and I'll get it. I'll look up your body mass index and I'll tell you what your body mass index is. I'll
Okay,
put it in the equation. I'll
but
get my computer out.
do we
So
believe
the
that,
medications,
are they
go
saying
ahead.
that it is good for weight loss, even though it was initially set for diabetes?
Right.
Have
So
they
that's
made that
it's,
determination? It is good for people just to use it for weight loss?
right, right. It's not the answer to everything, but you know, I always tell patients you need a whole lifestyle change. It's not about just dieting. I don't really like to use the word diet. I'm more for it's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole lifestyle change. For example, I have a patient who wants to get a knee replacement. Well, the orthopedic won't give her the knee replacement until she lose about a good 50 pounds. Well, she really can't exercise and lose walk because of the arthritis, the severe arthritis in her knee, correct? So she's like, her back is up against the wall. How can we get her off, like to lose 50 pounds? We helping her with her diet, her what she's eating, having a healthy meal, but she can't actually physically exercise. And so I feel like the weight loss medicine is helping so many people to actually help them if they need surgery for knee surgery, if they need um, gastric sleeve and they have to lose so much weight, 100 pounds. If they're on the verge of having diabetes, it prevents them from actually crossing over to diabetes. And for me, it's really, I mean, I've been really targeting trying to help people stay out of dialysis, keep them off of dialysis. And so many African Americans have high risk for high blood pressure, diabetes, and end-stage renal disease, chronic kidney disease. We're number one. We're number one in all those categories. So my goal is, I'll say, we can target your weight loss. That's gonna make your sugars come down. That's gonna help with your blood pressure. Let's get you on a healthy food, healthy lifestyle habits, exercising, eating well-balanced meals, you know, staying away from a lot of salt and sugar, fried foods, and eventually, you know, their weight is coming down, their body mass index is coming down below 30, and they will not go on dialysis. They will not, if they're able to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
So,
And so that's been one of my purpose of using the weight loss medicine, is to prevent people from going into end-stage kidney disease, because both high blood pressure and diabetes can cause end-stage kidney disease. So when you have both, you know, it's damaging the kidneys. So we're trying to keep African Americans, minorities, Hispanics, off of dialysis. So we have to address their weight. We have to address their weight. And then you have patients that take medications, like some patients that have mental health disorders, say they have a history of bipolar. Well, a lot of the medicine that they're taking for mental health, well, it's causing them to gain a lot of weight, significant amount of weight. I mean, like 50 pounds in 1 year, taking Abilify, something like that. And so, so this weight loss medicine also is helping patients that have to take medicine for one disease that may cause significant amount of weight gain.
So if I must make some, if you can lose weight with lifestyle changes, that's the best way. However, if you need to lose weight and the medicine can help you do that, we all for it.
Right.
And also, you saying in the Black community that we're number one with diabetes,
Everything.
blood pressure, and all of those things?
Everything. We top we number one with the racial, with the health inequities. We number one. We're number one. And we make up we're the least minority. We make up almost 13% of the population. But we are number one. We're number one.
Let me ask Camille, why do you think we are number one as a community in all of these diseases? Do we have that much stress that we just give ourselves away, basically?
I would say yes. I think a lot of people don't realize the effects that slavery still has on us today. It's just that not only if you take that out, there's a lot of negativity thrown towards Black women and men, and that can make you hate yourself. And I feel like a lot of times when you don't have self-love really from the inside, that's a lot of stress because you're trying to push to be successful on the outside, but what is that voice on the inside telling you? Is it telling you that you're good enough? And then it's like inflation and everything else, the money, being able to pay your bills, looking on TV, music is different than it used to be. There's no more love songs with people singing about positivity and like, oh, I love this person and they love me. It's just fighting. And then the TV, they have shows where people are just yelling and screaming, and it's just a lot of hostility all around. And going back to the slavery thing, slavery ended. Some people like me, only two great greats, as far as my grandparents, they were in slavery. That was just the 1800s, like my great grandpa was born in 1908. So that's not too far removed. And these people are getting out, and there was no therapist. You know what I'm saying? So all that damage of being told that you're not worth anything, Jim Crow, all that stuff, and these people are having children, and that's why you look and you see like foster systems and things like that, like why our homes are broken. You know what I'm saying? Because there hasn't been anything to really change the mindset and say, hey, Black woman, Black child, Black man, Black woman, you are of value. And you don't have to work 10 times as hard to make yourself feel like you're good enough. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's one thing that, oh, you have money in your bank account. If you have that, it's another thing to have a home and stuff like that. But it's like, but what about the core virtues inside, the characteristics, that the voice inside of you that says, I'm good enough, I don't have to do all this stuff. That's a lot. And I feel like when you aren't able to speak, which I've recently known in my journey in life, when you're not able to speak your truth and you're withholding your words, I feel like you eat those words. And you can eat those words literally with food. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to do anything to cope. A lot of people cope sexually, a lot of people cope with drugs, a lot of people cope with food, you know what I'm saying? And all these things are not good habits. And I really feel like that's where you come into the commandments and why they're so important. It's not necessarily in my opinion, that you'll go to, you know, the you know, not be spoken of place, but it's more of to have a fulfilling life, to have a life of meaning and purpose, and to have that inner love for yourself to where you're not having to overcompensate in other places. Yeah, I feel like we are that stressed. And I feel like when you look at the numbers and you look at the history of our people and how media is and how we treat each other and how we talk to one another and the voice and how we think and speak about ourselves, then they all add up.
Generational trauma. It just continues. In some aspects, it gets better. In some aspects, it gets a little worse. So over and over. What do you feel, Dr. Sabrina, that is the cause of us being number one in our health deficiencies?
Well, I definitely agree with our panelists. But for me, you know, being a physician is multifactorial. You know, I'm not just looking at one thing. I'm definitely looking at mental health, the stress of the environment that people are living in. Poverty plays a huge role in what people can actually afford to buy when they go to the grocery store. Access to grocery stores, access to healthcare. Genetics play a role. A lot of times our patients say, "Oh yeah, well, my grandmother had diabetes, my uncle had diabetes, and I know I'm gonna get." Well, that's not necessarily true, you know, because diabetes is preventable. You can prevent diabetes. It may run in your family. There may be diseases that run in your family, but you can prevent it. But definitely the environment is really huge to me compared to genetics. Genetics play a role, but the environment is huge. If you come out of your community and all you see is fast food here, fast food, liquor stores, vaping stores, smoking and vaping stores, you go into wealthy communities, you see none of that. You see none of that. And so in our African American communities, Hispanic, you're going to see more liquor stores. You're going to see more vaping stores. Alcohol can elevate the blood pressure. Alcohol can cause depression. Alcohol can lead to liver disease. There's just so many factors that we're looking at. We just can't, you know, we just don't look at like one factor. That's why you see so many specialists, because if I have somebody that I'm having issues getting their sugars down, then I send them to an endocrinologist, which is a hormonal specialist, and they deal with diabetes. You know, they're like the experts that help, you know, get people's sugar down. And if I'm having, you know, a patient that I can't get their blood pressure down because I practice family medicine too, and I have to send them to a cardiologist. And the cardiologist helps get their blood pressure down when we need a higher acuity of care. We have to know when to refer. And so so you also have racism in healthcare. So I mean, I'm definitely at that table where I'm fighting every day for patients to get access to what they need, as far as like if they do have insurance, and what may be the limitations of their insurance, which many of the insurance companies have a great amount of restrictions and limitations that they put on African Americans and other minorities. So for me, what I really see is lack of access. Lack of access is probably one of the biggest issues that I see that's keeping our people at that number one status. We also have to address the education. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of fear. There's a profound fear of African Americans coming to medical institutions or medical that have been rooted in racism. That's been rooted in racism and discrimination against our people. And it goes back, you know, way before the Tuskegee experiment with syphilis. It goes way back during slavery time, you know, and so our people have a profound fear of the medical, they don't trust medical institutions.
How can we start to
and research
how can we start to overcome that? It doesn't basically depend on having more medical professionals, Black medical professionals, to give a more calm or comforting environment? How can we overcome that?
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely having more minority physicians, because we make up minority physicians in this country. We make up about 5% of the population of physicians. And so that's why you see it's not just only about physicians, but we have nurse practitioners now. We have physician assistants. So we have other healthcare providers that can see patients. But we still have a great amount of racism and discrimination in healthcare. I see it every day. And so we're, you know, we are focusing on raising up a whole new generation that will most likely, the research shows that minority physicians most likely will take care of their people. Most likely they'll be the ones. Nobody's standing in line to take care of us like us. Okay, with the majority of the physicians, and there's only so many people you can see a day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not enough of us. It's not enough of us.
And there was a time when we had more institutions. I mean, going back to Riverside Hospital and different things, many cities had those institutions, but as we have more quote unquote modernized, we've expanded to other institutions and don't have our own. And so we have to find a way to, I would say, assimilate even more and make our people more comfortable. It goes back to education also.
Education.
Yeah.
Education is the key.
Of our young men and women are going to Meharry and the different medical schools, Black medical schools that are out there? And how many are going to college, period, instead of doing other things? I talk to young men all the time, and they have a difficulty with anybody telling them what to do. They want to go to the front of the line, but don't want to go through the process, which makes it very difficult. But going back to what we were first talking about, if we can deal with lifestyle and diet, then we can keep more of our people in the game or in the hunt or in the fight.
Absolutely.
Camille, what do you see as a good diet? I know Doc says she doesn't like that word, but as far as the diet, what I try to do is I try to make sure I do not eat after 8. Now in the morning, when I go walking every day, I take my carrots and my grapes with me. And as I'm walking, I eat that and drink my water. Then I come back and I eat one meal, but I try to make sure not to eat anything after that one meal. And if I do, it's going to be nuts or fruit and maybe a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but nothing after 8. What do you see as a good diet?
When I think of diet, I just think of the food you intake, right? So making sure your diet, the food you're eating is, like Dr. Sabrina said earlier, a way of life, right? So you want to be intentional in what you're eating. So I think what you're doing is great. You're making sure that you're eating whole foods, like simple ingredients, as close to the earth as possible, right? So if you are going to snack instead of processed snacks all the time, getting you some natural sugar, so like fruits. Go
Can
ahead.
you share what processed food is? Some of our guests may not know.
Oh yeah. So I've never really actually looked up the definition of process, but when I think of process, it has like all the preservatives in it. So and it's been like, you know, put through so many different extruders and probably cooked here and cooked there, and just kind of, you want something that was cooked in the kitchen and then put on your plate. You season it, put some avocado oil or some olive oil on it, but not all this stuff. Like when you look on the back of a label of a product, it shouldn't be a list of 20, 30 things. It should be like 5 ingredients, maybe 10. But if looking on there, you should be able to read the label. It shouldn't have all these long chemical names in it. Like there's a thing called Thrive that I've been seeing going across social media. And I think it's some type of packaged meal where they have all the snacks, popular snacks, and they have healthy options. Like there's I think it's at H-E-B and Whole Foods. I forget the name of it, but they have like Reese's peanut butter cups, and it's made with like cane sugar and peanut butter and cacao, like real chocolate, so it's just like eating foods that don't make you feel guilty because they have all these other things that your body can't process, because your body can't process these chemicals, and these chemicals are causing other issues in your body, which can make you sick. So eating, if you eat meat, eat clean meat, try to get lean cut, try to get less fatty, not hamburgers, and cook at home. Or like when I go out, I know for me, especially if I'm switching from having some extra weight on me, because I might have stressed eat, because that's my go-to when I'm stressed, I'll stress eat, right? So, and like when I go out, I have my key places I'll go. Instead of going to Wendy's or McDonald's or Whataburger or all those kind of places, I'll be like, okay, like I know I can go to Chipotle, and that's a decent option. You know what I'm saying?
That's my favorite restaurant.
It is.
Man, that's my
Or like
favorite place.
Kava's a good place when I'm out. Smoothie King's okay, but it's better than Whataburger, something quick. Or Salada. Just like, I feel like it's a game plan. So it's just like, okay, I know I'm switching. I know I'll go to these places if I have to eat out. Wendy's, they have salads. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you can when you're out. And then when I get more time, right, and I have a more intentional, then I'll meal prep, right? And then like you said, you'll pack your snacks with you, being intentional about your day. Because it's like, for me, if I get hungry, I know when hunger strikes, and if I'm not prepared, I could go get the greasiest thing I could find. So it's knowing yourself, knowing your triggers, and then like drinking water, or they have juices that are not from concentrate or juicing. There's places like Clean Juice, there's Juice Land, there's places like that you can get juice, or farmers markets, people do that. And just making healthy, conscious choices, and then preparing ahead of time. Even sometimes I feel like a good buffer is lean cuisines. They're not the best because of sodium levels, but it's a good buffer when you're trying to switch and you don't have time, and you're getting used to like, okay, I'm going to eat meals instead of snacking all day. Because I feel like that's a big thing. People will snack instead of realizing like, oh, I'm hungry, let me eat a meal. And if you just switch from a meal to snacking all day, that helps a lot. And then just being active, because you really lose weight in the kitchen rather than working out. Because you can work out, and if you're not eating right, you're just gonna stay where you are, or get a little more solid, but the weight's not gonna change that much.
Very much understood. I've been through that too. And one thing I have heard is if you could switch from soda water to waters, that right there will cut weight almost twofold. Also, can you share some of the products that you have, like your Moss Queen business at this time?
Yeah. And then before I get into that, which is soda, I realized like Topo Chico, like the carbonated waters, that's a good transition because you could do Topo Chico that gives you that bite. Because sometimes it's not even really the soda, you just want that fizz, like that burn. And Topo Chico will do that with the other carbonated drinks. And you can add some juice to it, and then you have a soda, you know. But so I'm the Houston sea moss queen. I have sea moss. Sea moss is an algae. It's a type of superfood. It has 92 minerals of the 102 that the body is composed of. So it helps with mucus removal, inflammation, bones, joints, hair, skin, thyroid, libido, weight loss, energy, all types of stuff. You take a spoonful a day. You can take it straight. A lot of people don't like the texture. You can blend in a smoothie or anything hot like tea. But I have those available. I keep product 2 places in 3rd Ward, 1 in Sunnyside, and I do farmers markets in Missouri City. And I deliver everything. And I also have some fresh juices. Like today I had some Water Island, that's watermelon, lime, ginger, pineapple juice, which helps with hydration. The lime is alkaline and ginger helps with inflammation. And then I also have sea moss smoothies. So just, you know, trying to, because it helps curb your appetite, because a lot of times we don't have enough energy, and sea moss helps give you that energy to give you the life force, which I would say, to be able to, you know, be more intentional in your life and to be able to exercise or have more energy to just get the stuff done and not bog you down and make you, yeah, because sometimes that stresses you out, being fatigued.
Yes, definitely. If you could put your information and where people can find your products, maybe in the chat and later on a brighter source, a brighter light. So anybody in the audience, because we are live on Facebook, people who may want to share in your products, if you could do that, we appreciate it. Dr. Sabrina, diet. Healthy eating is very important. What suggestions could you give?
I love your suggestion about getting off of soda, because some people drink three cans of soda a day. So what I tell them is, it's almost like you're drinking like just pour just white sugar in a cup, and just imagine you just trying to drink that. That's what you're drinking. That's how much sugar. And I just think overall, in America, we just eat too much salt and sugar. We eat too much salt and sugar. It's everywhere. Even in the labels, you know, companies are getting fined now, and they should, because they're hiding ingredients in the labels and they're misleading people. And if you have a history, for example, of high blood pressure, and you need to be on less than 2 grams of sodium a day, you know, you go out to a fast food restaurant and you're eating all your, like a hamburger, you're eating everything, all your sodium requirement right there in that hamburger. And so that's just your one meal. So I'm really big on pushing plant-based healthy lifestyle eating, plant-based, taking meat slowly. And I understand we live in Texas. You know, this is a big, you know, big state here. And they're really big on eating brisket and barbecue and things like that. But I'm really big on helping people.
Can I ask, when you say plant-based, are you talking about a vegetable diet, or are you talking about being a vegan?
So vegan is different from plant-based. Vegan is more, plant-based is not vegan, you know. Okay. So it's a different, you know, when people are strictly vegan, they like, you know, it's a lot of vegan is good. It's good, you know, there are a lot of people I know that are vegan, and you know, they have meat out of their diet, but there's a lot of other things. They have dairy products out of their diet too. So, and plant-based is almost like substituting, taking red meat out, taking meat out, period. Taking meat out, period. And it's a process. And if you look up the World Health Organization, WHO, the World Health Organization, red meat is a carcinogen. The World Health Organization These are the experts from around the world. They list red meat as a cancer causing agent. It's on the same list. You got to look this up if you have never done this. This is in the same list as like tobacco. We know that tobacco causes cancer. So we know that there's certain chemicals out here that can be lethal to your body, can cause lymphoma, leukemia. Red meat is in the list. Okay. And so I tell all my patients that. I tell them all, you know, just like if they smoke cigarettes, I would tell them, I want to help you to get off cigarettes. I want to help you to get off nicotine because it's going to cause damage to your body. It's the same thing with red meat. And slowly, you know, taking one thing at a time, just looking, really, really investigating, and just almost like taking a magnifying glass and say, what is it? Like just right now, over the next 21 days, it takes 21 days to help you form a great new habit. Like you stop eating after 8. That's one of my things. I stopped eating after 7 p.m. So you said 8, that's good. If that works for you, whatever works for you. Okay, getting your water intake in, 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. We don't drink enough water. The average person is dehydrated. They just walking around dehydrated. They don't even know. They're like, oh, I've been inside all day. But you're dehydrated because you're not drinking enough water. You're not flushing your kidneys. We eat too much meat. Like I said, the red meat is carcinogen. We're seeing now in medicine 30 and 40-year-olds with colon cancer. When I was in residency, we would see older people like in their 70s or 80s with colon cancer. Now, it's nothing to see 40-year-olds with heart disease and on 3 blood pressure medicines. They're barely 40 years old. And cancer, high rates of cancer. So I tell you,
Can you recover?
The NMA.
Can you recover? Let's
Mm-hmm.
say you went through a stretch of your life, and I just got to give a disclaimer. I'm talking about me. Can you go through a stretch of, can you recover at 60, even though at 40 and 50, you might have ate bad, but now you're trying to eat good. Mm-hmm. Can the body recover?
Yes, the body can. Yes, the body. God created our bodies. And I believe God created our bodies to fight off every illegal parasite, every illegal parasite, bacteria, anything foreign that tries to get inside our body. We were created to fight it off, you know, our immune system and things like that. But as we get older, our immune system starts to decrease and our fighting ability is weakened. That's why you're seeing so many older people died of COVID. They had a weaker immune system just because of aging, the process of aging.
Yeah.
So yes, I have seen, and even with plant-based, if you're eating more vegetables and fruit, less meat, taking meat out of your diet, maybe substitute with some fish instead of red meat. We have seen, and I went to my medical conference
on chicken. I mean, baked, broiled, not fried, but chicken. What's your opinion on chicken?
Well, if you have to have chicken, I would say more like baked. Yeah. If you have to. So, I mean, but
it's best to take it out of your diet too, and just, if you got to eat some meat, just have fish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The National Medical Association, this is the National Medical Association of African American minorities. We get together once a year for a conference, and last year was phenomenal. We had presenters showing us the reversal of heart disease, on a plant-based diet, the reversal of kidney disease, when we're seeing 40-year-olds, they're saying, oh, you got stage 3 kidney disease. 40? What? Stage 3 kidney. So I'm telling you, if you start eating a healthy plant-based diet, take meat out of your diet. My husband and I say, okay, I eat a lot of food. I took red meat out of my diet years ago, but I still would eat like sometimes turkey or chicken. But like as of January, I stopped everything. I know just fish from time to time, salmon, but no chicken, no, turkey. But and my husband, he started too in January, and he's already lost like 20 pounds.
That's amazing.
He's already lost 20 pounds just from taking meat, really just taking meat out of his diet. He lost like 20 pounds. And losing weight and having a healthy lifestyle, it's going to extend your life. It's going to extend your life. So yes, at any age, it's not too late. It's not too late. I don't care if you're 70 years old. I don't care if you're 80, 85, 90. It's not too late to have a healthy lifestyle. But it was just phenomenal for us to see people with heart disease, blockage in their arteries, and being on a plant-based diet for 18 months, and for them to go back and do an angiogram and not see any blockage. We were just like, what?
Are there medicines that help with that, or are you strictly talking from a natural aspect? The number one thing is lifestyle change and changing your diet and so forth. But are there medicines that are good to assist with that?
Well, I mean, you have to look at everybody individually, because some patients don't want to take medicine. I understand a lot of minorities, they're like, I don't want to take medicine, I don't want to take blood pressure, and I don't want to take diabetes. I don't want to take insulin, I want to get off cholesterol medicine. I said, okay, well, you're going to have to discipline yourself. Like you say, you get up every morning, you have your routine, you exercise. I said, you're going to have to discipline yourself, because I have successfully taken patients off of insulin. I have successfully taken patients off cholesterol medicine, blood pressure medicine, but they are so disciplined in walking and exercising and what they eat. And
I'm going to
they're
ask
so
my
disciplined
doctor,
in what.
and I be taking off because I'm on cholesterol medicine. I'm on 2 blood pressure medicines, but I've made some serious changes and I'm losing weight. So the one thing I've made a significant improvement, lost 10 pounds, but as far as my height, and I'm still way overweight for that. So maybe it's not time yet, but I'm gonna talk to her about it and see. I got a appointment coming up.
I did your equation. Where is it? So you said the weight was 193 or 190 something?
It's according to the scale. One says 191, one says 193. So somewhere like that.
So let's do 191. So 191 and 5, you said 5'6"?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it puts you at a body mass index of 30.8. 30.8.
What does that mean? That's bad, isn't it?
So anything over 30 or above is obesity. And these are the patients that you are our target to get your body mass index less than 30, maybe like in the 27, 28 range. That's probably why your doctor say, oh, we need for you to lose probably like 15 more pounds or so. And to sustain that. So patients can lose weight, but we need to help them sustain the weight loss, because they're not going to be on these medicines. They're not going to be on these weight loss medicines forever. They can't take them forever. So there has to come a time where you have to incorporate a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle of what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're actually putting in your body. What you're putting in your body.
Well, that's certainly where I am at. I can say for the last 30 to 40 days, I've been very disciplined. Now, before that, and the key is consistency, because I've done this before, but then something happened, going back to those traumas, those different things that happen to us, that we lose our focus, we lose our discipline. And those are the things in the Black community. I can say most people know what to do. It's a matter of following through to doing what they need to do. And we have so many difficulties that come at us that we have a problem sticking with it. What are some ways that one thing I say about shows like this and different things, the education that we help to bring about can help our community. What are some other ways that you feel, Camille, that maybe we can help our people understand better?
Yeah, so definitely there is having, first everyone talks about therapists, right? Someone to help you unpack, because you do need the support. But also outside of that is really what I like to focus on. It's just doing a little bit each day, not overwhelming yourself, because I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves. So giving ourselves patience and grace and changing habits and trying to have a better lifestyle. So some of the stuff I touched on earlier within our Black community, we're always in a state of fight or flight, and that's the sympathetic system, right? So that's, you're just trying to survive. So it's hard to focus and build and, just have time. When you have the funding, when you have a space that's safe for you to think and create, then you're in the parasympathetic, right? That's rest and digest. So you want to transition from survival mode, sympathetic, to parasympathetic, right? So that's where the grace, that's where the patience comes in yourself. And I feel like one big thing that we can do now is putting yourself in a safe zone, telling yourself that it's okay to be yourself within yourself, and as well as reducing time away from things and people that cause stress. You know what I'm saying? You might not know why, but removing yourself, I feel like that gives you time to breathe. That gives you time to really focus and stick to those things. Because like you said, a lot of people know what to do. It's being able to consistently do those things, taking walks, drinking water, maybe finding a routine in your schedule where it's just like, okay, I know I'm gonna have snacks. I'm gonna have fruit. Like I have this, right? I have a cut up watermelon. So just like, okay, I'm gonna snack on some fruit instead of candy. Cause it's like, if you, like me, I used to like fruity candies, and it's just like, well, why am I eating the fake instead of the original? Let me eat some real fruit. If it's chocolates, you can make smoothies at home, or buy the healthy options at the store, replacing the snacks, replacing the drinks. And then I feel like after that, focusing on meals, you know what I'm saying? Like low hanging fruit. I feel like instead of trying to cut down the whole tree or climb the top of the mountain, find those low hanging fruit things that help you not feel so overwhelmed and not feel so stressed, and doing them one day at a time, one meal at a time, 1 week at a time, and then not overloading it into trying to do it all at once. Maybe take a month and be like, okay, I'm gonna replace my sodas with water or Topo Chico or just real drinks, because HEB has a natural orange juice and it's sweet, it's like a nice little sugar hit, you might want some sweet drink, some of that. And then after you replace your drinks, maybe the next month or 2 months, however long it takes you, because it's like, I feel like a lot of times we get frustrated with us not hitting a goal when we expect it to hit it. but that's where the patience and grace comes in. And after you get that goal, then focus on, okay, I'm gonna do fruits and nuts. You know, I'm gonna do, they have that not smart popcorn, that skinny popcorn. I've been using that, you know, it's like a salty, it's light salt. So just having like a salty thing, and then unsalted nuts or whatever. And then plant-based is always good. I did want to add something Dr. Eccles Sampson mentioned with the vegan and the plant-based. Vegan, you can be an unhealthy vegan. Like a lot of people go vegan and they will still eat hamburgers. Well, it's not meat, but it's like artificial meat. So therefore that's where that processed meat. So you're exchanging animal products for now chemically made products, you know, which in some cases can be worse, you know, because now it's not even from an animal, it's something made in a lab, you know. So you can have vegan nachos, you can have vegan hamburgers, chili dogs, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that people can have that's unhealthy in regular foods, they make it there. So that's why plant-based is so important, because you want to do things as close to the earth as possible, because those are the things that are made for the earth. You know, we came from the earth, the food's coming from the earth. So it's just like, that's designed for your body to process, and that has the electrons and the energy to fuel your body. And that's why you have those studies where people are able to clean out their system and clean out those blockages, because you're giving your body what it was made to have. And you're processing, because the meat, like I saw a thing about our intestines is like 20 feet long. And when you look at the carnivores, theirs are like 10 feet. So their body was made, they have the acids to break down the meat. Our body wasn't designed to eat meat 3 times a day, every day, 365. So you're having this meat just sit in your stomach and in your gut. And that's how you get diverticulitis, where you get those pockets and stuff like that, just sitting, and it's eroding and rotting in your, you know, body. So you want to cleanse that stuff out and give your body time to relax and push through. And that's why she was talking about being hydrated, because how can you cleanse and push things through if you don't have the water or the fluids to get it out? You know, as many times as we eat food, we should be pushing it out on the opposite end. But I think I forgot the question now.
Well, you answered it in depth and very much in depth. One thing we're right at the end of our show. One thing I'm trying to do is work with mental health professionals to have an open forum for more of our people to be able to reach out and discuss that. Because of course there's a stigma in the Black community. So once a month on Sundays, we have a mental health show called Minding Our Mental Wellness. And we're working on it, we're developing it. We just had our 7th episode, and we're gonna have a seminar in Galveston, August 15th. Our next episode is July 21st. And so we're really working on that, because as I said, you can know everything to do, but you just don't have the mindset or the discipline or the determination to do it. And we need help with that. We need help across the board. Dr. Sabrina, Camille shared about some of the things that we can do in our diet and we can do in our daily lives to better our health. We're right at the end. If you would like to share a couple of things, and then we're going to finish up.
I would say, if you have any medical conditions such as high blood pressure or diabetes, you can speak to your doctor about referring you to a nutritional specialist a dietitian, because many times doctors don't have a lot of time to sit down and go over meal plans and what's good meal preps. And really in medical school, we were just not trained well with nutrition, to be honest. I really like patients to go and sit down and say, oh, well, I'm from Louisiana. And they'll say, I'm from Louisiana and I like to eat, don't take my rice away. So, you know, a dietitian can sit down and say, okay, well, let's replace this and let's teach you how to eat in proportion, a smaller proportion. So I'm really big about sitting down with a dietitian that can help you switch out some of the high carbs food, high salt food, and switch down to maybe something else. If you cook greens, that's great. Maybe you don't have to put ham hocks in it or pork. Maybe you could put, some lean turkey meat or something like that in it. So just the education part of switching out, like Camille was saying, she has her fruit in front of her. I tell patients all the time in the office, come on, let's just, okay, get your phone out. Google fruit that's low in sugar. So I actually make them do it right in front of me. So by doing it in front of me, they look, oh, okay, berries, strawberries, things like that. And then they see the fruit that they're eating that might be higher in sugar, like bananas. Bananas are a good source of potassium, but they are higher in sugars. So you need to balance it out. Maybe you don't eat the whole banana. Maybe you eat like a half of it or a fourth of banana, and not every day. So it's really like helping people to switch out. If you have high cholesterol, maybe not eating scrambled eggs, but maybe eating egg whites. Egg whites are more healthier for you if you have high cholesterol. And so really like looking at the person, their lifestyle, looking at what medical issues they have, and just really kind of helping them, okay, let's substitute. Let's substitute. We don't want you, we don't want to take away all your food at one time because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You cannot take away people's favorite foods all at one time. You just have to help them transform their mind. It's a transformation process where you have to, for my husband and I, we can go into a restaurant, and if the food is too salty, I can't eat it anymore because I don't put salt on my food. I don't. He doesn't cook with salt, and so I can't eat it. I was just like, this is too salty. I can't eat it, and so things like that. So when you start substituting food, some of the foods that's high in carbs and high in sugars, high in salt, and you start substituting it high in fat, then you won't be able to eat it. Your digestive system. I have patients that have lost weight. Maybe they've been on Mounjaro or Ozempic, and they can't even eat certain things anymore. They try to eat fried chicken, and they get so sick to their stomach. Or they try to eat something really spicy. They put hot sauce on their food. They can't eat it. And so because now your intestines, your stomach and your intestines, that environment is changing. The environment is changing. And so if you put something in there that's high in salt and spicy food, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt their digestive system. And so just really helping patients, just looking at their lifestyle and helping them individually, with living a healthy lifestyle, and telling them, yes, you can come off of insulin. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You
Yes,
can come
ma'am.
off. You can come off of cholesterol.
Very important point about the dietitian, that might be the area that some people need to start at, because their biggest thing is, if you can lose weight, it takes care of a lot of things. Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
If you can lose
Absolutely.
weight, it takes care of a lot of things. So maybe some people should start right there. I'm fortunate at this particular time, and God willing, I'll keep going. I've been on a track, and I want to keep going with it, because I'd like to live as long as my father. My father lived till 91. My mother is still alive. She's 95, and I want to be in those numbers with them. And I look forward, so I'm trying to do all I can. We are at the
Yes.
end of our 160 episode of the Source Seek Hour. Dr. Eccles, if you would share whatever you would like to share on how people, if they have something they want to, they heard you on here, they may want to ask you something, if you would like to give any information.
Yes, if anybody wants to get more information about weight loss, what's the best medication for me? If I need medication, I may not need medication. Just a consultation for weight loss, you can call 281-969-5601. That's our office number, and we could do telemedicine. This month we're doing telemedicine because we're in transition of location. So we could talk, we can have a consultation where I could tell you what your body mass index is. And I also can talk about your metabolic rate, your basal metabolic rate, how many calories you're burning, and what you need to do to lose weight is increasing your metabolic rate, burning more calories. So basically, weight loss is eating less, burning more calories. That's the equation. No matter what book you read, eating less calories, burning more calories. You're going to lose weight, period. So
Yes,
I hope I said something today to help people. Just look up, you can Google and look up what are the toxins that are in food that's causing people to have cancer.
Can they find you on Facebook or any of the other platforms?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Butterfly Wellness, Instagram, Butterfly Wellness. My website is drsabrinaButterfly.org.
Okay.
They can find me there.
You helped me a great deal, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that watch this and appreciate it very much. We thank you. Every time you come, we thank you very much.
Yes,
Camille, your
you.
final word.
Yes, my final word was, we're all on this journey together, right? So being kind to one another and ourselves and trying to better ourselves. Always remember that, and patience, grace, gratitude, just for the small things. And Houston CMOS Queen, that's SEAMOSS Queen, Houston CMOS Queen on Instagram and Facebook. You can see where my pop-ups are. I had a pop-up before this in Third Ward. I have a farmer's market on Saturdays, 9 to 1 in Missouri City. All the information's on there, and the phone number is 832-308-0027. That's 832-308-0027.
This has been a great informative program, and I'm gonna keep both of you up to date on my progress. I hope I don't tell you that I fell down. I plan on staying consistent, and by, I would say, August 15th at the mental health program that I'm hosting in Galveston, I would like to be down to 175. I'm at 190 now. That is my goal. I'm gonna keep y'all up to date on my progress. Thank you all very much. Everybody in the audience, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Source Seek Hour.